Do you know exactly when race was invented? Do you know who invented it? To be sure, the formation of race was a pretty complicated thing, and I don't want to oversimplify it, but there were some watershed moments. Many of my videos are generally about the creation of whiteness, why it persists, why it should be abolished, but I thought I would get into a little bit of a series about how, more specifically, it was invented. I'm sure you've heard on TikTok or maybe at family events, white people talk about, hey, white people enslaved each other in Europe well before the transatlantic slave trade. Black people enslaved each other in Africa before the Europeans got involved. And they may have even pointed to the ancient Greeks and ancient Romans, white people, they say, who colonized well before the Europeans did it in the Americas. But here's the thing, they're all full of shit. Race didn't exist yet. So remember the Crusades, those European wars of conquest in North Africa and the Middle East? 11th to 13th centuries, that's where it all began. The Crusades gave birth to the idea of Limpieza De Sangre. Now, if you don't speak Spanish, that may sound nice, but it translates to purity of blood, which began to be popularized in the early 1400s Spain and later in the 1400s during the Spanish Inquisition. Not only was this term central to the rise of the notion of race, it was also central to the justifications and the process of modern settler colonialism and the patriarchy. Purity of blood became an obsessive concern in 1400 Spain, when persecuted Jews and Muslims began in large numbers converting to Christianity. So converts were called, quote, new Christians, and those claiming to have limpieza de sangre, or pure blood, called themselves old Christians. So the first ever blood purity statutes, or limpieza de sangre statutes, were instituted by the mayor of Toledo, Spain, named Pero Sarmiento in 1449. The laws banned all Jewish converts from holding governmental positions because they were not deemed to have pure blood. These Limpieza de Sangre statutes spread all across Spain during the Spanish Inquisition, and by the mid-16th century, proof of blood purity was necessary to maintain or obtain a privileged status. So the conceptual framework of race is born of religious difference, but these exact ideas were brought here by Christopher Columbus, and these ideas were applied to the indigenous and people of African descent when it came time to justify or rationalize, in their minds, colonization, genocide, and slavery. So prior to this, the idea of biological superiority based upon purity of blood did not exist, as far as I know, in anybody's mind or in any laws. That's it. Hope that helps you answer back your crazy old uncle. Have a good day.